of a shame, really. Librarians, they're quite good. They're no, I wouldn't say they're any better than they were before, really. The new psychic phase, the way of casting everything, is pretty much exactly the same as it was before, except you've now just got your warp tokens to symbolise the fact that it can use a power. His psychic hood's got worse. You can see the main rulebook for information on the psychic hood, but you have to use the rules in the rulebook for that. He's got access to more psychic powers, although a lot of the Blood Angels ones are quite well suited to the army dynamics, so it's whether or not you'd want to swap those out for something, say, like a divination power. Bearing in mind you've not got control over which specific power you get, you'll just get one from that section. Mephiston has slipped back a bit in terms of his ability in combat. It's purely because he's got a force sword that's AP3. He's not going to be able to go into the Terminators and tear them apart. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, you just need to be careful how you're using him. Instead of sending him against the toughest thing there is on the board, send him against that unit you just want dead. Send him Devastator squad in that building, get Mephiston in there, and that Devastator squad's gone. He's really good in that regard still, and with his transfixing gaze, the fact that he'll be able to issue a challenge to a character in an enemy unit, single them out and get them dead, is really beneficial, because you can do that. You can just go up to what I was used to find was happening with my Mephiston was he'd go into combat with, like, say, a Longfang pack, kill all the heavy weapons in the unit, and then the sergeant would hit him with a power fist or something and take his last wound off him. Now that's less likely to happen, because he's now got that ability to challenge and either stop that guy fighting or make Mephiston fight him first. So Mephiston's really got that chance to single out that guy that's going to kill him. That's a kind of a plus side for him, but losing his ignores all armor sage from his power weapon from his force weapon down to an AP3. It's a bit of a hit. Your sanguinary priests, again, I'll probably say they have got a little bit worse overall, because Fury's charge has changed. Your Fury's charge now just gives you the +1 strength rather than +1 initiative as well. But they're still a useful unit. You just probably won't be spending as much money on getting them geared up as you did before. What I like to do myself, if you've seen any of my battle reports, you'll know that I tend to like using my Honour Guard, because they come with a Sanguinary Novitiate. So you're getting all your Feel No Pain rules from there, and your Furious Charge generated from that, and you've got a unit to go with him. I would say from my point of view, I'd probably be less likely to use a Sanguinary Priest now, and I'll just stick with my Honour Guard. Corbulo, on the other hand, has got quite a lot better from the changes with Feel No Pain, because he's got his own specific Feel No Pain of 2+. That means that he's got almost a 2+ invulnerable save against anything that doesn't cause him instant death. He's got a Strength 5 rending close combat weapon, which is great, and obviously his reroll that he grants the army has been invaluable for me sometimes, so it'll be a useful one to have on the table, and I think he racks in about 105 points. So once you've geared up a normal Sanguinary Priest, they're not far off Corbulo's cost anyway. If you're, I'd always consider Corbulo in an army if I can. The Sanguinary Guard, they benefit quite a lot from the changes in the power weapon rules, because obviously a lot of enemy power weapons are now not going to get through their Artificier armour, so that 2+ is in place a lot more. However, they're just as squishy as they were before against things like your Power Fists. They're always going to just drop for those, and they're your AP2 weapons, really. The thing to watch with them, though, is that the Glaving Carmine, because it's classed as a mastercrafted power weapon, it's not got its own unique special rule. It's a universal rule. So whatever they've got, a sword or an axe, will determine whether or not they'll strike in Initiative 1 or with the benefit of an AP2, or striking in Initiative order with the AP3. Solution to that is you always give them a Power Fist. Don't see a problem with that. So yeah, they've kind of found probably a bit more of a place in the army now, especially with the impact hit they do when they're charging in through Hammer of Wrath. So I quite like the changes for Sanguinary Guard. It's made me reconsider them as a choice. The Sanguinor is a model I never really used anyway, because I never felt he was worth his points, purely because he's only got 3 wounds. He's got a 3+ invulnerable save and he's got a 2+ armour save, but now he's Glaive Carmen. Here's a sword, it's a power sword, it's AP3. Bit of a downside, he's not going to go through and mash as much stuff up. His boosts to attacks in the air on units are always handy, but he's less likely to come into my army now than he was before, just purely because I never liked him before, and he's a bit worse than he was before. So why would I put him in my army unless I was doing a themed army? Honour Guard, I rant and rave about this unit. It's your most flexible unit in the Blood Angels Codex. Obviously, it's not a scoring unit, but you've got basically a tough close combat unit that's giving you units within 6 inches extra benefits as well because of the novitiate that comes with it. Basically, the sanguinary priest that's with the squad. So yeah, again, I'm going to be sticking with those as a unit in my army. I might have to change my loadout for them. I'll probably see that I'll be taking the my Honour Guard squad that's got 4 plasma guns more often than the one that's got the flamers and the lightning claws, because lightning claws have got a bit worse. Commander Dante is a bit of an interesting one really, because he's got his 2+ armour save, so again that's a plus side now because it's less likely to get taken away from him. His death mask is really good actually. In fact, obviously you're going to be nerfing an enemy character, and considering that a lot of the characters that you want to nerf now have got, a lot of them, like Abaddon for example, has now still got an AP3 weapon, so he's not going to be negating Dante's 2+ save. You just have to watch for that one attack that gets through that causes it, that will cause instant death on Dante. So the negative to a weapon skill, negative wound, negative initiative, negative 1 attack, will have a bit of will make him a bit more of a fighter really, because he's going to be going in against a weakened opponent anyway. He's got a mastercrafted power axe, so he's going at initiative 1, but he's going at AP2, so he is going to be getting through a lot more of the armour types. And he has got the invulnerable save to help protect him against your other AP2 weaponry. Again, as I say, your solution to that is really look at the challenge. You can declare your challenge to just single out one thing that's going to be attacking him instead of everything. His other benefits that he had before are no different. The surgical strike, hit and run special rule, still great, and the tactical precision for when he jumps into combat, when he jumps into the battlefield, again it's a great thing to just pop down and fire your shots off and nuke a unit with Malta at close range. One character I've never really sort of even considered in my army is Gabriel Seth for the Flesh Tearers. That's because I'm a Blood Angels player, but if we have a look at his special rules, he's got his Strength 8 chainsword that's going in initiative order, so that's quite a big benefit that it's an initiative 5 weapon effectively, and it's got rending, so he's actually probably got a little bit better in combat from the fact that a lot of anything with armour 2, he's got a chance of punishing them really. His Whirlwind of Gore special rule, it's just as good as it was before really. And obviously he's going to be doing them bonus hits from Ferocious Instinct, so probably a little bit better for Seth. So that really covers all the units that are in the army. It's been a bit of a mixed bag really for the Blood Angels, because your heavy hitting characters like Mephiston have got a bit worse, so they're something that I would use reasonably regularly would be Mephiston. I've tried to avoid using him recently. Your chaplains have got, I'd probably say, a tiny bit worse overall. But it's forcing you to look at the wider army more, which isn't a bad thing really, because it's making you, rather than relying on your one killer close combat unit, that if it dies, your battle plan's gone. You've now got more power in your assault squads, and potentially Sanguinary Guard, your Terminators. So your elites and your troops are a lot better. Your vehicles, like the Storm Raven, are much more robust and the Vindicator's more likely to be able to cause heavy damage. So all in all, it's a good addition for the Blood Angels, I think. It'll be changing the dynamic of your army a little bit, but that's what a new edition does. It makes it feel fresh. If your army was fought exactly the same as it did before, you'd be playing the same old edition. But now the new changes are great. So I'll call it there. So if you do want to hear more from me, and want to see any battle reports, check out any of my mini-series, The Hobby, then just feel free to subscribe. Like this video if you enjoyed the review of the Blood Angels Codex for 6th edition, and just leave a comment if there's anything you want to question me on, or if there's anything I've got wrong. I really, if I've got something wrong, I'd like to know so I can put it into practice in the game. So thanks for watching.